everybody, hope you did okay. Welcome to Christ Hospital Station. This is the old platform for the line that used to run from Guildford to Christ Hospital and on to Shoreham. They've recently revamped this area, so this used to be heavily overgrown and used to have to go on a road detour to miss out this bit to get on the path back towards Southwater and on towards Shoreham. So this is rather grand. I'll give you a little tour of that later as a historical interlude. But what I'm here for today really, apart from a nice little run, is to look at the Hyperion Elite 2 from Brooks I've just got in today. Now I had to go a UK 12 in this one because that's seemingly the biggest they do. Rather a bugbear of myself, people like the FOD runner Andy, that they don't do shoes bigger than a 12 in some of these ones. Asics are to blame, Adidas are to blame, and seemingly now Brooks can't manage to do it either. And despite the fact that they can actually put out a UK 15 and a Hyperion Tempo, this is the biggest they do in a 12. Having said that, I think I'm actually probably a 12 and a half, or maybe sort of 12 and a quarter, because I've had a Brooks launch 5 and the Brooks launch 6 and a 12, which were okay, but I had the Hyperion Tempo and the 13. So in terms of, like, first thing to say, do they fit true to size? Well, yes, because the Hyperion Tempo and the 13 is noticeably bigger than this one in a 12. I would say they actually fit sort of true to size for Brooks. So whatever your normal size in Brooks, I would go for it. I've got the Hyperion Tempo, the blue one there on my right, and then the Hyperion Elite on my left. So the Hyperion Tempo is in a 13 and the Elite is in a 12. You can see instantly that is how those two shoes are definitely different sizes. So the extra 1 centimetre which Brooks advertised in the 13 definitely it feels right. And I measured the insoles in both, and sure enough the 12 comes up 31 centimetres as it's supposed to, and the 13 in the Tempo comes up 32. So spot on for sizing. I've already done like a sort of 4-mile gentle run because I'm doing an 800-metre race tomorrow, so I just did a few strides just there to do a bit of filming. But instantly I would say that I much prefer this to the Hyperion Tempo. Maybe that's because in a 12 it just fits me a bit better width-wise. It's still a sort of reasonably sort of average to narrow fit, but I got such narrow feet that I usually have to cinch my laces down so much. But this actually sort of cinches up quite well, and I think having pulled them together it stops my feet rolling forward. But having done that, then it feels then a lot better on foot. What I found with the Hyperion Tempo, it really lacked arch support for me, and I felt it was really slappy, and I felt the foam was okay, but it just felt a bit sort of ordinary, nothing much happening with it. But I think with the combination of the plate and a bit more sponge underneath it in the Hyperion Elite 2 here, it does make a huge difference. So instantly I think, well, that's a definite plus point. So if I use this old platform here to have a view of the shoe, now the Hyperion Elite, the heel counter is very similar to what you kind of find in all these high stack shoes, just a little bit of a sponge there to keep your heel locked in, and a very minimal, very reminiscent of the 4%, the Next Percent, those sort of shoes, and indeed the Endorphin Pro. Whereas the Tempo is a lot more solid heel counter there. You can't really press that down so much, so it's much more solid, so that's a big difference for a start. Having said that, the difference in weights isn't that remarkable because I've got a slightly smaller size. It's about 255 grams in the UK 12, and it's about 275 odd in the Tempo, but that's a bigger size. So I think if I had the same size, there wouldn't be much in it at all. Now you've got a nice lot of laces here. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 eyelets, and then, well, 7 in that one. You can't do a double knot, so you're kind of stuck with what you are. But it kind of reminds me of Adidas shoes that you've got plenty of eyelets there to cinch it down. There's no particular problem there at all. If we look at the eyelet, then you've got Hyperion Elite 2, in case you wondered if you got the 1 by mistake. It's not a gusseted tongue per se, but you've got like a little lace loop here in the middle which kind of stops it messing around. So you could, if you wanted to, remove that if you wanted a different lacing, but that seems to work well. The upper, as you might expect in these sort of shoes, is pretty minimal. Nice bit of breathing here. What I did notice on foot, that it is actually, when I cinched it out quite tight here, it was quite roomy in the toe box. So although my toe was fairly towards the end, being a centimetre less than this one, I've got about half a thumb width here compared to a thumb width here, because it's sort of raised up a bit. Well, it's totally unlike, say, the Pegasus 37, which really sort of sits slam on your toe. So that was quite nice. Comparing the stack heights there, you can see that there's a bit more stack height in the Elite 2 than there is in the Tempo, and there's a bit more structure to it here. I imagine there's probably the plate. You can just about see that line there sort of through the middle. So just having a look on the back of these shoes, then There's not a huge amount of rubber on the back of the Elite 2, just enough to keep me going in the heel there, and good for me that there's plenty of rubber on the toe off where I tend to wear all my shoes. I haven't worn the Tempos that much yet, so it's actually not wearing too badly, but slightly more rubber on the Tempo, but not a huge amount more. But otherwise a fairly similar style. In terms of the ride in the Elite 2, it still felt kind of reasonably firm, but you know, sort of a good compromise between firm and cushion. So I think if you're wanting a shoe that's a bit more firmer than say the Next Percent or even the Endorphin Pro, this might not be a bad choice. So I think I need to get out and do a sort of a longer run with a bit more effort to give it a proper test. But initial impressions are it's pretty promising. I think you know, certainly will be up there with the carbon plate shoes. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that very quick first look at the Hyperion Elite 2. I'll be sure to get out and do a longer run when I've got these 800 out of the way. I've got 3,000 on Thursday, so maybe I'll be able to squeeze in a longer run on Monday and give it a better feel. Then I'll be rested up again for my 3,000 on Thursday. So the track races are coming thick and fast. I've also managed to line myself up with a 400-metre race. I've got this project to try and break 60 seconds in the 400 metres, so I've actually lined myself up with a little race next Saturday at Causden in an open meeting with South London Harriers. So it'll be the first 400-metre race I've done in already 17 years, I think. So at least give myself a go. I don't think I'm going to break 60, but I'm hoping I'll be able to get somewhere near it and see how we go. Won't be wearing these shoes in that though. It'll be the Dragonflies, I think, that I did a video on the other day. Okay, so I hope you found this interesting and look forward to seeing the next one. Okay, bye. Okay, little historical interlude. Christ Hospital Station, I see, was opened in 1902 to serve the nearby Christ Hospital School, which still exists, one of the top public schools in the country, I would say. And this railway actually was opened in 1865, connecting Guildford to Horsham, and then it branched off towards Southwater on the coast. So it fell foul to the beaching cuts and closed in 1965, and has been opened as the Downs Link long distance path since 1984. Now, it's a path that I've used extensively for my marathon training. I live sort of that way back towards Guildford and a bit beyond, so it doesn't take me very long to sort of get onto the Downs Link. I can be on it in half an hour, but it allows you sort of traffic free, good surface, not tarmac, but a good solid surface. So it's excellent for marathon training when you want to save your legs a bit, but still find you're not swimming in mud or anything. So as well as some information boards here, but I'll show you the pictures on it as a still. You've got a nice Christ Hospital sign in the green colourway of the Southern Railway. And I think there must have been sort of two platforms here in the middle, because you can see this bit here has clearly been filled in, and then it looks like that bit was a platform there, and then a platform here. And where I was sitting earlier on, this is the main path. Clearly there was another platform there. And then this way we've got a rather nice bridge. Let's just walk up to there and have a look. So here's the run into the station. The bit I'm standing on here is the track bed from Baystone Bridge, which is about half a mile that way. Now this bit has only been opened in the last few years, and they've also now they've redone the station and resurfaced this bit. So you used to have this terrible detour you used to have to do on the road. It's quite dangerous actually, and so this is far better. And the other big plus point is that you can actually arrive at Christ Hospital Station, literally go through the gate and arrive straight on the live platforms. I could actually get a train here and then run back to Guildford, which would be rather nice. Now the entrance behind me here is the connection between this new old station and the actual live platform, so let's nip through there. Interesting, this gate here has only recently been opened, because as you can see it's telling you rather out of date sign that you can't actually get through here, and you have to retrace to Baystone Bridge. That's the one, not the one I just showed you, but the one half a mile beyond that. So if we come through here, and then we do get on to the live Christ Hospital Station, and from here you can actually catch a train to London Victoria on this platform going that way, and then the other way seems to be going towards Bognor Regis on the south coast. Okay, So I hope you enjoyed this little historical interlude, and look forward to seeing the next one then. Okay, bye.